Hi again. So, I'm showing my face again because this time we're going to be reviewing another, fairly large plush. It is the Babs Bunny plush released by Applause back in 1990. Now, I'm going to tell you a bit of background before we review this plush. So, in 1990 was when Tiny Toon Adventures premiered, late 1990 I believe. And around that same year, Play School got the license to make toys based on the show. They made plushes in the small, medium. They also made like characters and vehicles, figurines, all that kind of jazz you'd expect for toys. Though they were kind of more for, since Play School is kind of a company that normally makes toys for young children, they were kind of sort of marketed as for, toys for young kids. Applause, on the other hand, they got the license too, and they did the same exact things as what Play School did, but I felt like they were more geared towards, older kids. Like, they made figurines that were around like 2.5 inches tall. They made plushes in different sizes. Then they also made pencil toppers. Basically, if some of their previous license, like if they made anything from their previous license, they did the exact same format for Tiny Toon and for their Tiny Toon Adventures license as well. So now that I've briefly mentioned, the Play School and Applause toy line, let's get to reviewing the Applause Babs Bunny plush. Now, Babs Bunny is my favorite Tiny Toons character ever. She is the best, and she means so much to me. Which is kind of ironic, given that I've only seen the entire first season of the show, and I got into the show like November of last year. But nevertheless, this is a character I am pretty attached to. Same with a few other characters from the show as well. Like, I don't care about just Babsy, So, here is the plush. Honestly, compared to the Play School plush, I think the face looks more like Babs. I feel like it really does. And there's actually, I think I'll mention a lot of the differences later on in the video, but for now, I'm just going to show you. You got the ears, which, yeah, a problem with specifically the plush I have is that the ears are not greatly positioned. She's got her cute toes. Now, one thing that's unique about this specific plush is that her hands, she actually has gloves on. Like, you could tell, they actually decided to put gloves on her. Now, they did also make a Buster as well, which also, Buster is a character that wears gloves. Babs doesn't wear gloves in the show, but I actually think she looks better with gloves on, just because it makes things more consistent with Buster. Because I kind of prefer having characters with similar designs, like Minnie and Mickey, Mario and Luigi, just to name a few. So I think the inclusion of the gloves, I think, makes this plush a lot better, to be honest, even if it's not a thing. I feel like the only time I ever saw Babs with white gloves on, that, when she's in her normal outfit, because usually she only wears white gloves when she's, in different costumes or disguises. But the only time I've ever seen her with gloves on, in her normal outfit, would probably have to be near the end of the episode Rock and Roar, where Buster adopts a dinosaur, and Montana Max, is also hunting down the dinosaur. It was actually a pretty good episode. I'm not talking about the beginning of the episode where she's gardening, because she does have white gardening gloves, but I'm talking about near the end where she's shown with with traditional white cartoon character gloves. But yeah, that's the only example I could find, because I haven't seen every single episode. I'm going to show you the tush tag. So here's what the tush tag looks like. If you can't see it, I'll take a picture of it and so you can see. There's the Applause logo. And it says copyright 1990, Warner Brothers Inc., and it has Bad Bunny's name on it. Speaking of tags, let me just put our skirt down. This plush actually did came with more tags. Like there was like a paper tag somewhere in like her body, maybe, or her arm, and then there was another tag on her ear, which was actually a 3D plastic mold of the Applause logo. It was in one of her ears. So yeah, that's I should have mentioned that earlier. So I did bought this loose on eBay for, it was an auction. I think I only paid like $17 for it. I mean it was in really nice shape. Though there was a few stitches that need to be stitched. But yeah, this one's a really great plush. She's designed it to be sitting. And her arms, they can actually be sort of, they're not bendable, but they kind of be in a position so you can like cross, make her cross her shoulders. Or you can put them in the back or something. I'm not so sure how she's able to do that, even though she's not a bendable plush. And yeah, her ears have problems. Because I always want to go down. I like them better up. Her teeth are made of felt, and they're attached to her muzzle. She has a really happy smile. I really like that. I think it makes her, look much more expressive. Now, this is the one that Playskool made. They're both around the same height. They're both the medium plushes. Applause and Playskool also made them in the smaller size. And there's also a talking one of this that also exists. But yeah, you could see how much better the Applause face is. I feel like she looks more accurate to her appearance in Tiny Toon Adventures than the Playskool plush did. Now, some of the comparisons. Well, some of the things that they have in common is that they both have the fuzzy hair. And they both have, there's hair on this plush. But you can see that both clothes are actually one piece, so they're all in one piece. Though the Playskool plush, the back is Velcroed, so you can remove it. Unfortunately, the Applause plush for some reason has it stitched, and so you can't really take it off, without loosening the stitch. And I'm probably not gonna loosen it yet. Though personally, I kind of wish that her clothes were like separate pieces, like the skirt and the shirt, or were separate pieces, because I kind of feel like it would make things easier to remove the clothing. Now you might be saying, well, why would I want to remove her clothes? In case if you want to clean the plush, like put her in the washing machine, or if you want to buy her clothes. I'm pretty sure, since she's around the 16-inch height, you could totally, buy clothes from Build-A-Bear Workshop and put them on her. I think that would look super cute. I think that's probably something I want to do sometime in the future, is, put her in different clothing. Speaking of the clothes, I criticized the Playskool plush, because I reviewed both the Babs and Buster in this set. The Playskool Babs, for some reason, her shirt, her sleeves, weren't really that long. She kind of has that Princess Peach, ball-shaped shoulders. They look very ball-like. Well, I feel like this one has it better because, her sleeves are long now. Which is good. Also, not to mention that, because sometimes there's some animation errors where Babs has a pointy tail like Buster's, even though she's supposed to have a cotton tail. You could see the Playskool plush, they represented her with the pointy tail, while the Applause plush has the much fluffier tail. It's cute. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, there's also this, I wouldn't say inconsistency, but sometimes when Babs appears in Tiny Toons, like sometimes her tail would be attached like through the skirt, while other times, you know, whenever we see her, like her skirt would be over the tail, revealing her butt. So yeah, you have a really cute tush. Not trying to sound like a perv or anything, but I think one thing that does make, it does kind of look like Babs is missing her inner ears, but she actually does have that, if you look closely. Like, it's probably not, you probably wouldn't see that on camera or on video, but in person, yeah, she does have that. I kind of thought she didn't at first. I feel like the only thing that this plush has over this would probably have to be that she doesn't have gloves, because that's more accurate to how she appeared in the show. Even if I do prefer the white gloves, they're not really accurate to her character in Tiny Toons. But hey, at least this plush actually does have the white tummy, unlike the Play School plush, which they skipped that detail for some reason. But yeah, so overall, like, I think both plushes are great, but I think the Applause plush is just miles better. Like, I always thought the Play School plush looked better, but now that I actually own the Applause plush now, I actually like this one a lot better. Oh yeah, one more difference. Her nose is made of plastic, the Play School one's plastic, while this one is kind of like a flocky, like a soft, I mean, it's plastic, but it's like it's covered in flock. Also, not to mention that the bows look a lot more three-dimensional on this one than the much flatter looking ones on the Play School. And not to mention that her eyelashes are also very soft, while the Play School one is just like stitched on, stitched onto the head itself. Also, I feel like the plastic eyes, something about the Play School plushes, even though I do like them, they're pretty charming, I feel like the plastic eyes on them, something about them looks slightly off, maybe it's just because they're a lot smaller, or they're not a lot longer or something. I think the eyes on the plastic eyes on the Applause plush, I think looks much more accurate. I think that's probably why I like the Play School one a lot more, and also because it's a lot happier, while the Play School one isn't. I mean, it's supposed to be happy, but she kind of looks very neutral. She kind of has this neutral face. The face looks neutral to me. While this one is, just having the time of her life. Like, I really like that. So yeah, I feel like the only thing that this one has over this one was probably just because she doesn't have the gloves. But I think what this one has is just almost everything. And I do like the gloves more, I mean, like, she has a much better face, much better eyes, much better bows, a more complete naked body. The feet are actually a lot smaller than on the Play School one, because if we compare the feet, the Applause plush's feet are around the exact same height as the Play School Buster, because for some reason the Play School Babs I have has much bigger feet than Buster. Then I actually kind of depict Babs with much bigger feet than Buster, because there's always this running joke where the people would make fun of just Babs for having bigger feet. This has to be the best Babs Bunny plush of all time. I think it really is. And I think I would grade Babs maybe an A-. So yeah, that's kind of it for the video. I definitely would love to collect more Babs Bunny items in the future, not just plushes, though there are a few plushes that I do want to get. Like, there is a UFO catcher plush of her, like there was a Christmas UFO set that has her in like a Santa outfit. That one recently just sold on eBay last month, and so I'm kind of hoping another one shows up. Hopefully not too expensive of a price. But yeah, and then there's also, the other one is the talking Babs plush from Play School. And it's, I think I mentioned it, if you haven't seen my review on the Play School Babs and Buster plush, go watch it. But it's like this plush. I think it's around the exact same height, but she has a pull string. That makes her talk. Cause honestly, if there's something that almost every single Babs Bunny plush is missing, is having Tress McNeil's voice on a Babsy doll. So yeah, that's also one I want to get, and those ones are super hard to find. I haven't seen one on eBay yet. So yeah, so that is it for the video. So thank you for watching. And say goodnight, Babs.
Good night, Babs.